Hey, you tours, it's your boy, I'm Domination. I'm back. Again, the only place you're gonna get it, only place to get it, only place to get it, only place, only place, only place, only place, only place, only place you're gonna get it, only place you're gonna get it, only place you're gonna get it is right back to the basics. And I'm a host, Domination. Chuck with the Deuce is how we do it, Texas, baby. All right. I know we talk about issues, struggling, pain, suffering, love, ladies. What's up? Get at me. I'm single. I'll holler at y'all back, fellas. Chunk the Deuce, because we getting money out here. You know where that goes. And take care of your business, take care of your family, take care of your girl. Because a man don't take care of his business, he ain't no real man. All right. I know we gonna get about the issues but this is a stream of well aware what this issue that I'm gonna bring to y'all. Molested. And when I mean molested, because you got right now, excuse me, as I'm saying, right now you got kids being molested. Since to boys to girls being molested and by hands by a man. Being molested, and it's kind of crazy to you. It's kind of crazy, and I know this, and this is an issue that some people do not even want to really spoke about or talk about or don't need to speak about, because girls being molested by men when their mothers let that happen or did not know it didn't happen. But since the age of 9 or 6 or 11 or 12, and that's the age for girls being molested by the hands of the man. Molested, like the same way like rape or touching of the private parts don't need to be touched or below the private. Same thing for the age of boys. Yep, that's right, people. Boys. And that's something people do not want to talk about. It talk about for the women being molested, but for the boys being molested, that even not even close to bring the point up. You got boys in the age of being molested since the 7 or 8 or 6 or 10, and it's crazy, or maybe 4 3. And being molested, and it's kind of sickness shit, right? It's sickening, and I couldn't believe it. Boys being molested, that's something that not really where to talk about. And look at that celebrity being molested by the hands of father. Tyler Perry is one of the top of the list that's in there. No matter what people think about Tyler Perry, I know what people gonna say. Like, After Blood, Colored Girls was a lot of controversy movie about putting black men down. I feel that too. But you got to admit, you can't knock down his empire. You can't knock down his create, because he made a lot of great opportunity to any man. But at the same time, I think he had a poor amount of hatred what his father did something to him. I think he hates his father, what he do, but he hate to be a man himself, because you've been hearing a lot of speculation what men do, and I admit men do got a bad rap sometimes, and that's why they don't take us men seriously, including black men, including brothers, because you got some men that go around, even it happens in the black community, also it even happened in the white community. And best believe when I tell you, it is something goes on in the hands by a man, and that's something that I really do not even want to talk about. And when I was watching like Oprah, they was have a group of amount of fellas, the dudes being molested by their own father. Their fathers had sex with their sons, and that's some sick ass shit right there. I could hear men molested with women have sex with their sex with their daughters, have sex with their daughters, molested their daughters. And it's crazy. And you got to see this movie right here. These two movies I mentioned to you. It's called Bastard Bastard something. It's in a Lifetime movie. Bastard Little Carolina. Bastard Little Carolina. It's about this girl was being molested by her her mama's boyfriend, but molested. She was only about 4 or 5 years old. You believe that? And it was like rednecks. It happened over there and across the country. It happened across the globalization of the world, and that's something that's need to be talked about. Cause molested, but nothing this sick shit about boys being molested. Man, I'm telling you, when Tyler Perry got molested before, I could not believe this. Because that's something that you rarely not hear about. You hear about girls being molested, but you don't hear about the men being molested. Because it's the most embarrassing thing to talk about, but men being molested by the hands of their own father. Because what they going to say when a man going to be molested by his own father? Oh, you a fag, you a homo, you a transsexual, transvestite sexual, or you like guys and all that stuff. You gonna let your father do you like that? That's something that anybody don't want to talk. I ain't never went through out this. Even if I did, I would have scooted inch away from my father did that to me. I wouldn't let it happen. I wouldn't let it happen, period. But you got some boys, it happened to them. They don't know what to do because they love their father to death, and they don't want to cause their mother pain, or for their husband or their boyfriend or something. And same thing, little girls can't see the hand. They won't see. They won't look at another man again after they been molested, being raped. That's something that the girls did not want to talk about. But nothing this sick shit about this boy is being molested. And I've been hearing that a lot lately, but I couldn't believe it. But it's out there, people. It do exist. And that's happened to the black community. That's been left out, sweeping under the dirt. And it happened in the white community. You hear it happen in the white community, then you hear black. You can hear it, but black. But matter of fact, it doesn't matter what color or race or spectrum. It happens to everywhere. And this is something that needs to bring right off of the offer to the table, and something to review about it and done about it. Because nobody don't want to talk about this. You'll hear women talk about being molested by their hands or by their father, and their mother let that happen because they want to keep a man. They'll choose over men over their own kid. And there's some women like that who doing that now. That's doing that. That's left children of the dark. And this is supposed to be all God's children. You know, I was a kid once, but I never went through this stuff like this. Even if I did, I would have got out of bed and try to protect myself and save all time, and pick a pull stick right between the gut to my father. If my father would have done that to me, but I never went there. I never go through with that. I never went through that in my entire life. But it happened a lot of events from fellas. I mean, when they were little boys, and it's crazy right there. And then half of them probably growing up and thinking they're going to be homosexual, or they just can't have a decent relationship from a woman again because of being in the hands by their own father. And the same thing for the women. They can't even have a conversation and have a long time relationship because they still think about those that they can't left with the past, what their fathers did to them. I mean, what the woman, I mean, what their father did to them. And women ain't gonna never forget that. That's what I'm trying to get at, people. Sorry. I mean, women ain't gonna never forget that, what their fathers did to them. And they blame, and the women blame the mother to letting all this happen because she want to keep them. You know, women, want to have a man so badly, especially these low self-esteem women out there want to have a man so bad, and then later on but try to keep a man this much longer because she don't want to get rid of him because there's not enough men out there for her to have. But this is your child, and you let this stuff happen to your daughter, ladies. And same thing, women, and a lot of times you hear that a lot from women have a man, their men. They men molested their sons, or as if their fathers molested them, and that's something to talk about. I'm gonna tell you a true short story. True short. My cousin was being molested by his own father. That's right, people. My cousin. When I heard that stuff was happening, it was in front of his dad's home. It was his father's house. He was being molested at the hands on his own father. And he didn't do anything because he didn't want to hurt his dad don't want to tell her, they don't want to break that happy home and none of that. And he deported right away from his auntie, and guess what? She called the police and locked him up for that. That's something you should not do. That's something that man should not do. Word up. And that's something that need to be paid more attention and close attention, because it happens a lot often in any community. And when my cousin told me all this, he was about 4 or 5 years old when he told me this, or 6 or 7. And I was so angry. I wanted to kill that son of a bitch. I was playing my video game when he told me he got molested by his own father. His father had sex with him. That's some sick shit. I don't know. You got some lot of sick people out there, you tours, and we need to stop that. I mean, we need to stop that as people doing some sick stuff. I mean, seriously, you got some sick people out there, but I never went through that. Word up. Word up. And people need to stop that. That sickness, man. You got some sickness. Everybody need to stop it. We all need to stop it, because we can't ignore what's going on. But I never did some slick stuff. The only thing I did some slick stuff is skipping class and doing all this and doing all that. But I never in my life doing something kind of bizarre shit like that. That is disgusting. And we need to resolve the problem and get main to the issue, because the issue cannot be ignored. And I feel sorry for my cousin. I really do. I really do. I want to kill that son of a bitch, because he was wrong molesting my cousin like that. But seriously, but this is what happened like that. Then you got girls being molested also. And you got to see these two movies. And another movie, American. It's about this foster boy, Rosie Donald direct this. She direct this. It's a short film of America. It was about this biracial kid was being molested by his own father. It was his foster parents, and he was so close to his foster mother, and she didn't know nothing about it. That's when he spent more time when he was little. He was getting into trouble because his mother got killed, and she never came right back. And then they will separate from his brothers when he stayed with his foster parents, and he spent more time over there. But then when he got into trouble, and he got right back when he got older, he was about 13 or 12. He was being molested by his father, and his god foster mother did not even know nothing about it. And that's some sick stuff, man. And you know what he did? In the last thing, he burned his foster father and burned the house on fire. And she probably know nothing about it and tried to cover it up for him, because she knew it was something going on about there. But I tell you, people, we as the people, we got to stop what we do and stop trying to ignore the problem and remain the problem. If we can't remain the problem, what the problem we're going to have more today? And that's exactly the same problem, because love will get through all eternity in the way of life and the way of God, because the action and the right rule of the bulb, because nothing's going to get through then as long as we got Jesus in our hearts and the name of Jesus, man, and amen to that. And that's the topic I'm going to bring today. Send me your comments, send me your emails, send me your video response, and tell me what you think what the problem need to be done, because you got women and you got little girls and young boys being molested in something that need to really not to talk about. What do you think they should do? Send me your email, show me your response, send me your comments, and tell me what you think about this video and this main topic, this heavy discussion topic. All right? And it's your boy Domination, Chunk of the Deuce. That's how we do it, Texas, baby. Until next time, peace.